for inpatient beds, which will not be acute beds. Can I possibly have a supplementary, depending on the answer?
See how it goes. He hasn't answered it yet. Pro.
Right, well this is, just for the benefit of everybody in the room who doesn't know the background to this, these are proposals by Imperial NHS Trust, which have been developed for some time over the last 3 years, to effectively have a new Charing Cross. It's a multi-million-pound new hospital on the same site. Now, so when the Labour Party tell you on their leaflets that the Conservative Party demolishes hospitals, I'm afraid that that is not the case. What is the case is there will be a new hospital on the same site. I don't think I've ever seen anybody opposing a new hospital and a huge investment that's going into that hospital. I've been a big user of the Charing Cross over the last 25 years. I've seen my late brother being treated for cancer in that hospital over a long period of time. I've got a lot of family and emotional connection to that hospital. And if I thought for any moment that hospital was not going to be what the local community needed going forward, then I would be the first to be opposing it. I've actually met with the NHS Hospital Trust, which I think is something that other politicians could usefully do as well. And you'll find on the Imperial NHS Trust website the proper explanation of what is actually happening at Charing Cross. And I would refer everybody who don't believe the Conservatives, who don't believe Labour or any other political party, is to go and see what your local NHS is saying themselves about the hospital redevelopment. That is incredibly important, madam, and I refer you to that website. It'll give you a lot of detail about what is going on at the Charing Cross on the Imperial website.
Thank you. I need to give Alex the right of reply here.
Well.
Hold your microphone.
Yes. That's right, my ire might carry me through. I mean, yes, if you look at the Imperial Clinical Board, currently the proposals are to get rid of 55%.
Slow down.
Sorry. Currently, on the Imperial Board, the plans are to get rid of 55% of the site. I would ask what kind of hospital and what kind of A&E it will be. If 55% is gone, there are no blue light services. The essential services like the stroke unit, the inpatients, all those things are gone. I'd love to hear what kind of hospital that is, because that doesn't sound anywhere near like the one that we need. I think I was speaking to someone today, and it's 550,000 people who are reliant on Charing Cross and its services. We've already lost Central Middlesex A&E, we've lost Hammersmith A&E. At this rate, we're going to lose Charing Cross and Chelsea Westminster, St Mary's, and the already struggling Northwick Park will absolutely...
Sorry, that's a new scare story.
So this doesn't become a debate between two people. Can I invite Guy Rubin to put in the Green Party perspective on that?
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty clear that it certainly isn't going to be a hospital as we know it there. And, you know, there is 50% of the site is disappearing. We're very concerned that, you know, highly regarded parts of the hospital, like the stroke unit, are going to disappear. And we're particularly concerned about the knock-on effects on all the other A&Es in the area, including Chelsea and Westminster, which is part of this constituency. The Shaping of the Future plan has not been consulted on in a democratic way, and I think, you know, it's quite clear what local people think about it. And I think, you know, we need to think very carefully about the kind of plans that are being pushed through here. What worries me is post the election we'll see more of this, not less of this. And what we need is a completely different approach to health, which actually puts health first, which invests a decent amount of money. We're saying 12 billion, not just the 8 billion that the Conservatives are talking about. We say 12 billion as a minimum, and that's the kind of thing that people like David Nicholson, the former chief executive of the NHS, has said we need as a minimum. You know, we have the NHS service is one of our crown jewels. I think Nara and Bevan said it was the closest we had to a civil form of religion. We should be proud of it, and we should be proud of the fact that it provides an incredible quality of service for a very small amount of money.
Simon Bailey, thank you.
So I'm going to keep this very brief, because this really angers me more than anything else. I feel this is an issue that has been so poorly communicated. There's so much misinformation from both sides about what it's going to contain and what it's not going to contain. And the key thing is, at the end of the day, what the NHS needs is not hot air, it needs cash. And it needs quite a bit of cash. And up until recently, when Labour tried to be Tory and Tories tried to be Labour, my party is the only party that said it needs an extra 8 billion, and we've shown how we're going to fund for it. So I would go back to the point, locally, in terms of Charing Cross, yes, we need to retain a hospital on the site of Charing Cross, and we need to look at what are these services, not that we've needed in the last 30 years, but what we're going to need in the next 30, and even the next 30 after that. We've got to remember this is a part of London, the population is going to go up, the traffic congestion is already a huge problem, so moving services like, whether it's stroke units and things, to St Mary's is going to be a huge risk with death, basically. And I really think, and this is what we're campaigning for locally, and this is why you don't hear us, getting into the slanging match, because it's about take a moratorium, take a step back from any of these changes, stop treating us like guinea pigs, and then actually take independent research, which is taken out of the hands of politicians.
Promise to keep it brief.
Yeah, sorry, it's just emotional.
And I'm going to come back to the questioner, if I may, to say your response to what you've just heard from the four candidates.
Yes, I do have quite a strong response. First of all,
I hope it's clear. We are in charge.
I don't think my question was answered by Greg Hands. I also feel very strongly that Greg Hands is trying to label campaigners as being members and supporters of the Labour Party. I'm chair of Save Our Hospitals. I am neither a member nor a supporter of the Labour Party, which has indeed done certain things that have caused damage to the health service prior to the extreme damage that has been done by the most recent government. The implication was that no one else but you has spoken to Tracy Batten. I have spoken to Tracy Batten. I have read the papers, which I don't think you have. Quite just to summarise some of the points. Charing Cross Hospital, as we know, will be demolished. 55% of the land is to be sold to private developers. It will not be a major acute hospital. In fact, the hospital space there will be reduced by more than 75%. I've already mentioned either 24 to 64 overnight beds, not the 360 there are now. It cannot have a blue light full A&E. There will be no stroke unit. And those are facts from Imperial's own clinical programme.
I can sense that there's a huge amount of passion there. I can sense there's a huge amount of passion here. I'm going to move us on to another question, although do feel free, after we've finished, in just about 20